We acknowledge that our rally is taking place on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nation. We thank the Coquitlam who continue to live on these lands and care for them, along with the waters and all that is above and below. We are heartbroken at the recent news coming out of Kamloops, and out of respect and in recognition of the tragic discovery of the remains of 215 Indigenous children on the grounds of the former Kamloops Indian Residential School, I would like to take this opportunity to have a minute of silence. Well, thank you guys all from the bottom of our hearts for coming out today at this Spread Love, Not Hate rally at Lafarge Park here in Coquitlam, BC. We are here for a few reasons. One, to show support for all the Asians living in the Tri-Cities and in response to those who have faced racial discrimination and hate. Second, to celebrate the last day of Asian Heritage Month, which is a month to learn about the history of Asian Canadians and celebrate their contributions to the growth and prosperity of Canada. And lastly, to announce the launch of Asian Impact Society, a group that was formed by myself, Gina Chong, Celia Chang, and Tiffany Duff. Just 1 month ago, Tiffany and I experienced a racial encounter right here at Lafarge Park. Since the incident, so many people have reached out and shared their stories and offered their support. But these incidents continue, and there has been a sharp rise in anti-Asian hate within our communities. In response, we decided it was necessary to form a 100% volunteer, politically neutral, nonprofit society. We are just 3 moms with deep roots in the Tri-Cities. We share a collective vision of building a better future for our daughters. So through collaborations, sharings of stories, supporting one another, and education, we hope to engage with local Tri-Cities residents in fostering a more inclusive community. So before I leave, I want to introduce to you my 11-year-old neighbor, Kaia Tessier. After our racial incident, Kaia decided to write a speech about racism for her elementary school, Mountain Meadows. We would like to ask Kaia to share her speech with us today.
Something terrible happened to my neighbor, and it has inspired me to bring more awareness to this very important topic. Hello, my name is Kaia Tessier, and this is my neighbor's story. She was on a walk with her friend here at Lafarge Lake. Another unmasked lady asked if they would take a photo of her with her phone. They replied, "I'm sorry, but no, we can't because of COVID." Then the woman started ranting, saying, "COVID came from your country. Go back to your country." She was swearing at them and calling them terrible names. My neighbor is Asian Canadian, so this woman was assuming that because she was Asian, she came from China, and was blaming COVID on them. If this happened to you, how would it make you feel? Obviously, this was very upsetting to my neighbor and her friend. Since March of 2020, there has been a 717% increase in anti-Asian hate crimes. What my neighbor experienced was verbal harassment, but there are also many reports of aggression, physical attacks, people getting spat on, and vandalism, to name a few. Targeting or labeling any group of people because of how they look is racism. Instead, why don't we celebrate our differences and diversity? It's so great that we have lots of different cultures and races in our community. Everyone wants to be treated with kindness and respect. Even though I am a kid, I can still stand up for what is right. We need to pay attention and learn how to be advocates. That means you need to speak up and stand up for others. Someone was an advocate for my neighbor that evening at Lafarge Lake. Her words can help us remember that we are all the same and we need to support each other. She said, "We all bleed the same." Thank you.
Hi, my name is Celia Chang, co-founder and director of Asian Impact Society. To me, racism hits me personally. Growing up in Squamish at the age of 6 to 9, I was teased, chased, and made fun of routinely. I was called chink, chased, and kids would use their fingers and stretch their eyes to make them look slanted. I was ashamed, embarrassed, helpless and sad, often. Many Asians have similar stories like mine, and I hope that you'll share yours with us so that we can heal together. If you have a story to share, we'd love to hear from you. There's a form on our website, www.asianimpactsociety.com. It's time. It's now my responsibility to stand up and use my voice as I am no longer 6 years old. I want to thank all of you for being here today. Gina, Tiffany, and I have a vision that we can help raise awareness on Asian racial injustice and eliminate discrimination through unity, compassion, empathy, and education. I think our vision came true today as I see all of your supportive faces here. Family, friends, Chamber of Commerce, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and so many new faces that I look forward to meeting. We are also honored and grateful to have so many of our local political supporters here, as they can amplify our voices and make change become a reality. Racism is an issue that we need to stand up to and tackle together. Let's work collectively so that we can make a better world for our children and future generations. Thank you. We have selected a few of our political leaders that RSVP'd to say a few words. Nelly, Shin, MP, Port Moody, Coquitlam, Anmore, and Belcarra. If you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I'd like to begin by just thanking Celia and Gina and Tiffany for what you're doing. I'm grateful for everyone here as well to show your support for the Asian community here in the Tri-Cities. It's very tragic that we have to come together for this reason, but I believe that what you're doing today is sowing a seed for healing in our community and across Canada that I know will ripple across our country. I know that when I stand up in the House of Commons, I am very cognizant of the sensibilities around racism, whether people are part of that perpetrating or part of the solution. But it's a time not to point fingers, but to correct. And that is where my heart is. And I really love your vision about love and bringing people together to heal. I believe that storytelling, that what you suggested just now, is critical to our healing, because a lot of times, even for myself, when I've experienced racism and others have, we second guess ourselves because people say, was that really racism? But by telling our stories and sharing our stories with each other, we could affirm the pain we've experienced and not live in that place of being gaslighted. And we can support one another. But what's so important also is, if we truly want healing and some of the gaps in our culture and our systems to abolish racism in general, we have to be the ones who help them, our leaders, the other leaders, and those who can fix the system, to know what needs to be fixed. Because quite honestly, when I've spoken with different leaders, it felt like they didn't know. So we can't be dormant. We have to stand up, as you have begun today with Asian Impact Society. And I have great confidence with your leadership and the heart of our community. You don't know what it means for me to see you all standing here in solidarity, regardless of political stripes or what your background is. I am so truly grateful. I'm so proud to be among you in the Tri-Cities. And I just look forward to how we will all work together to make sure that racism is not an issue here or anywhere in Canada. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here. I want to acknowledge the land we stand upon has also been subjected to, and the people that have lived here for thousands of years have been subjected to racism. And I see so many people wearing the orange today, and I thank you for that, because the outrage we feel at the horrific discovery in Kamloops, my father's birthplace, we also must feel when groups of any race or for any reason get discriminated against, get treated badly because of their race. And I think we all stand here united on that point. But I stand here as a white-haired white male, and I say to my fellow citizens, all of them of every race, that this is everybody's issue. This isn't an Asian issue. And later tonight, we will have a moment of silence at City Council that reflects that that isn't an Indigenous issue, that the way we treat each other as a diverse and inclusive society matters. I want to make apologies for my council colleagues. We were actually all going to try to be here, but our council agenda, our council meeting starts at 1 o'clock and goes till midnight or whenever it ends. And today it's absolutely packed. So they nominated me to go and represent all of council here today, and I'm pleased to do that. But I'm also pleased to recognize that each one of them joins in solidarity today. I know that our school system, I see School District 43 is here, and I thank them. Our school system is really important. My wife's a teacher, a retired teacher now, she's proud to say, but through many years she saw this issue from the eyes of an educator. And so many other aspects of our society need to come to grips with this issue. I was heartbroken to hear of the account of the incident here at Town Center Park, because we always express our pride at our diversity. Our strongest point here in Coquitlam, here in the Tri-Cities, here in Canada, is that the world has come here to live together in harmony. And when harmony doesn't exist, it's up to each of us to look into our own hearts, contemplate our own actions for sure, and also stand up to those who would put down others. So on behalf of Coquitlam City Council, thank you all for being here. Thank you for organizing this, and God bless you all.
And next we have Mayor McEwan from Anmore.
And a big thank you to Cecilia, who is one of Anmore's own. So I just wanted to thank you all for inviting me here today. I appreciate this opportunity to show my support and acknowledge the harm that racism has caused people in our community every day. Today's event is about bringing awareness about racism, and it's highlighting attitudes and behaviors that must change. The heartbreaking news from this weekend about the discovery of the undocumented mass gravesite of 215 children at a former residential school shows yet again the horrifying impacts of racism and the work that must be done, and the important learning that is still needed to address racism. My condolences go to the Indigenous peoples who are grieving and also caring for their elders. I hope that today's rally pushes those of us who have not experienced racial bias to look at ourselves and recognize that we need to do better as individuals and organizations. I know that Anmore Council believes it is our responsibility as a community to support measures that embed anti-racism practices and policies in our local government organization. I encourage other leaders to do the same. And thank you again for allowing me to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And next we have Zoe Royer from Port Moody City Council.
Thank you, Celia. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. My name is Zoe Royer, and I'm a Port Moody City Councillor. And I apologize that my colleagues aren't here, but they are here in heart and spirit. And today, as we continue to mourn the lives lost of children in residential schools, we have one more thing that we can come together on. And it's so important that we heal as a community. And while Port Moody City Council may not be here, I know that they stand in solidarity. With me, with you, we stand together and we are behind you. As our Asian families, you have brought prosperity to our communities and kindness. And you're a demonstration of what love and courage looks like in our society. Standing up against hate speech in all its forms and bringing people together of all colors. And in doing so, you've created something amazing. And I hope that you keep it going, that we keep it going, because this is getting momentum. It's raising awareness, and it's getting people to stand out, to speak up, and to support one another. You know, when Asian families came here many decades ago, what they brought with them was their brilliance, their wisdom, and their intelligence. And our communities continue to prosper because of this. I'm so thankful that you're all here, and I continue to learn. I continue to learn from other people every single day, so I hope that many people here feel that same way. You know, one of the things that I taught my daughters when they were growing up was to be inclusive. We hosted students from Asian countries, and they were young women that transformed our lives. They brought so much to our family, and we could share so many things together. My daughters will never be racist. My grandson, who is 22 months now, is starting to speak. And again, we will show him that we love one another. You know, as we continue to strengthen peace and understanding in our communities, we must continue to speak out against hate speech in all of its forms. And so I stand here with you today. I'm with you. I have your back. And I want you to know that I will continue to work hard to ensure that our society is free from hate speech, from bullying, and that everyone feels safe and respected. So I look forward to working and hearing from each one of you and listening to more and more of your lived experiences, because that's what will make our community a kinder and more gentler place. So thank you again, and thanks to Celia, Gina, Tiffany for their amazing work in bringing us together today, and for the congratulations for the Asian Impact Society. I look forward to supporting the great work that they do, and looking forward to seeing you together in person at some point in the future. Thank you.
Better idea. And Carol Cahoon, SD 43 School Trustee. Oh, Kerri! Kerri,
Okay. No
you're
worries.
here. Thank you.
Is this okay?
Yes.
Thank
oh,
you.
and you can pick it up. I've sanitized.
Thank you very much. My thanks to Carol Cahoon for being here. Carol is on the Board of Education, and I was racing to get here quickly through traffic, so thank you very much. I want to bring you thanks on behalf of the Board of Education today for SD 43. And I'm going to take a slightly different approach. I'm going to take a bit more of a positive approach than my counterparts. And I'm going to share with you the speech that I gave at the beginning of our very last board meeting, because we actually did bring onto our agenda an item that I'm hoping that everyone has heard, and if they haven't, I'm going to share it with you today. It was at the beginning of this month, our board meeting, so please understand that this was at the beginning of our month. So May is Asian Heritage Month, and it's an opportunity for Canadians to celebrate the historical and ongoing contributions of Canadians of Asian descent. We wanted to bring a celebratory tone to our messaging, and because we believe that celebrating is learning. Celebrating Asian heritage is especially poignant this year, as anti-Asian hate crimes have risen 717% in Vancouver, mostly due to misguided racist attacks related to COVID-19. And also on the rise are attacks and vandalism and destructions of representations of Asian art and personal property. This is completely unacceptable. These are not the villages and cities that we represent as trustees. We as a community must oppose racist acts. We must build bridges and stand together to create and maintain a society that promotes respect and inclusion of all people. The Parliamentary Secretary decreed May 23rd through 29th, so we're a couple of days past that, Anti-Asian Racism Awareness Month throughout the month that week and throughout the month of May. SD 43 actually shared on all of our social media channels posts that observed this month, and we decided to highlight Asian heritage within our school district. And we invited all of our 32,000 students to celebrate Asian heritage in School District 43, and also to take some time to recognize the many contributions of the members in our community of Asian descent. And what I want to say as well is that we believe, or I was taught, that racism is a disease. This is what my parents messaged to me, that this is a disease. And that I work with a bunch of really wonderful trustees on the Board of Education here who believe that we actually hold a cure to that. And that cure is education. And it's education at home, it's education at school, and it's education in community, at celebrations and rallies like this. I want to say to you, thank you very much on behalf of the Board of Education for having me here today, and you will have our support as a school district. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tiffany Duff. I came to Canada 20 years ago as an international student. Because of my great experiences in Canada, helping international students and newcomers has become my career and my passion. I'm honored to join with these two successful community builders and leaders and use our platform to share more stories, bring more awareness, and reach more Asians who need help. Thanks to our Tri-City councils and mayors, community leaders, school trustees, local small business, and all of you that have come and support us today. As we wrap up the speeches, and I would like to invite all of you to pick up a sign from the tables and join us along Pine Tree Way to continue raise awareness. We will be wrapping things up around 5:30, so please feel free to return your sign to the same tables. If you have any questions, please find Gina, Celia, and me, Tiffany. We will be happy to help you. Thank you, everyone.